Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Normandie series of Crusader Kings 3 here on the Lord Master channel. And we start off with, well, as you can see, the Iberian Peninsulas were focused down there. This was part of the ongoing crusade for the Kingdom of Valencia. It's these small pots there. This did not go very well. We lost more battles. And we occupied a few territories, but other than that, this war was a disaster, and we'll likely lose. And I've withdrawn my participation of it, because we were militarily defeated by them, all because of their, oh, not the Grandmaster. Well, I believe it's this ruler. Malik Bob II Ibn Azmunia. That man was a military genius, and also a dreadful lunatic at that. But he bested us, best military leader of his era, and gosh, so I could say, damn. So we've drawn our participation out of fear of in case there's any factionalism that wants to move in to press a claim or two, but thankfully nobody is willing to do so. So at least I should relax and keep it maintained. But now in the short term, wait 5 years till I get a claim on Malta, though it's non-adjacent, and it's also further away from our Britannic territories in the southern France, Aquitaine, as we do not have access to the Mediterranean. But I simply wanted this because I want to use that as an island base for future expeditions to help out with Queen Alice of Serbia with something, as we're allied with her, especially in wars against Byzantium and all that. Don't want to get involved in Sicily, at least not yet. I mean, that's up to me and everybody else at their behest. In which, to much of everyone's surprise, nobody has dared form the Kingdom of Sicily. Oh, there's a bit of Africa on Calabria. But even then, it wouldn't matter as much. But for now, we should just focus on accumulating our wealth as we're fully recovered. Yes, fully recovered from that disastrous war. And we'll let the mercenary contracts expire. And just commit to our defense and construction. Especially construction. And as well as have more children. And I have a son, a prince by the name of Wallerun. Yes, that's how you pronounce his name. I looked it up, ladies and gentlemen. I looked up how to correctly pronounce that name. Wallerun. 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 Remember that, people. Say it with me. Wallerun. Wallerun. Even though there's an option that I can actually rename this character, but no. I've said what I've said. I wouldn't mind getting another son out of it. But that'd be up to you. Unless I find someone charming. Like whatever the local Sogdians in England have to offer. Since Sogdians are renowned for their beauty of women. As my mother brought them over the travels. Oh, and speaking of mother... Canterbury, they just always sent them. Yes. We can have a proper funeral for my mother. Extravagant ceremonials. Who's gonna be there? You know, everybody's at war. Everybody's at the Crusades. Scotland's going, but he's excommunicated and escaped to prison, as he did a bad thing once. This Prince Solon, he's terrified of me, and that's what we need. We need my king as a subordinate to me. Be spending quite a bit. This is from my great mother, one of the greatest rulers our dynasty's ever had. Take a little trip down to Dover. And then after we leave Middlesex, just want to pay a little visit to Brentford for the Westminster Abbey. Just get a bit of a monthly learning. Got it? Let's do it for Mother. As we drove by the river dams, I noticed a man loudly cursing his life and complaining about his traitorous crew. As we get closer, we see him standing by the remains of a small wrecked trading vessel. Your Majesty, could I ask for a moment of your time? I'll happily pay you some food assistance for repairing my boat. Yes, sir, pains on this. I noticed most of us continue well kept despite his misfortune. Me being callous, I'll say, how much did you say you have again? Kill him and take his money. This again. There's only one way to solve this. Fight, fight, fight. There are Charles and Kingston were resting at a local tavern, joined a local English fair, and cheerful folk music sung in Anglic tongue. The mayor's here was interrupted by a tall, beefing, and very intoxicated man with one of the smuggest smiles I've ever seen. He made all sorts of ridiculous statements like all the enemies he's killed or the women he slept with. After he started harassing the other guests, the tavern stand kicked him out. He wasn't so strong after all. My entourage chuckled to themselves, with some saying it was amusing to watch, while others said that the tavern should have kicked him out earlier. I enjoy laughing at idiots like that. Yeah. I'm in a bit of a callous mood today. Despite the fact that I did sleep well prior to recording. Canterbury is to be Alice's final resting place, and I'm left alone to gather my thoughts and prepare to arrival of the honored mourners. You heard that right. That king, we need a subordinate king. There's going to be a murder at the funeral tonight. Increase development county efficiency. That's going to be needed for Malta coming up. Must not be traveling. Well, whenever I'm ready for my trials, I'm ready to send people to Greenland. And also I got a man who's forging a sword for me. Mercenary contracts expiring. The beneficiary Alexander proceeds with thoughtful expressions. Anyone special to your Majesty? That's my invitation. Such a personal question on my face, because he continues. I mean, is there anyone you wish to dedicate your commission artifact to? This is turning out well, but a medieval discussion should make it even more personal. By my beloved Navarre. Well, actually, no, because you know, I'm a man who loves more than another. So I'll say only the Lord guides me. Just had a funny thought. That's all. Oh boy. Alright, learn the East Iranian language. Ah, sorry about that. Make it up to you. Maybe we'll get together sometime, huh? I mean, after all, I'm a seducer. After a night of love making, during the morning my sensual empress whispered temptingly in my ear that she knows about a certain girl that failed to be introduced to court thanks to some muddy intrigue. But that has a set of nice skills and traits that might be useful inside a court. I don't know, one should always look for talented individuals to rely on, should the occasion arise. As my cunning empress is also probably advancing her own agenda, promoting a friend. The fact of the matter is that this girl named Evelyn really shows some significant promise, even if including this notorious woman her will cost me the prestige. Let me see you. Oh my goodness. Beautiful and genius. And a schemer too. Alright. Cynical stuff. Yeah, I'll welcome her. Although, she gets a weak hook on me. Well then, let's get to know each other a little better, shall we? I'm traveling. Yeah, of course, you're traveling. Well, when I return from the funeral of my mother, we gotta focus on how great my mother was and all that. One moment, please. Or as a reminder for Greenland. 100 more, then you reach 850 for networks, but need to work on the resilience more. The warriors of St. George only found death and humiliation at the gates of Valencia. The crusade, so eagerly called, supported by Pope Anastasius, ended in disastrous defeat that has only hurt the cause of the faithful. This will surely embolden more blasphemers and infidels to further stray from Catholicism. St. George has abandoned us. Boy, did we flunk it. It's time to pay the ransom. The wake begins. Remember, I have a murder plot against the King of Scotland. What's going on? Irish flux. Minor. No threat to us here in Middlesex. And in Kent. I and the other mourners take a reprieve from our grief to enjoy a great bounty of usually the life blood of any feast not since crossed from the misty eyed of an untouched cup at his side. How can we make ourselves fat in merry times like these? Are we to enjoy ourselves while Alice has nothing? Join me, empty our cups in libation. The guests seem great, there is wisdom in his office limitation. join in on the offering. While I come to expect mischief from my son and heir Wallerun, his creativity keeps me on my toes. While it is not a prank, it is a brawl. A disgruntled tutor or Gray's niece from an adventure gone wrong. Never a dull moment. Rowdy child. That reminds me. You do not have a wet nurse. Educate the children. Why, you'll be very good at it, but I'll see if we can find someone better. Create an imperial army instead of a royal army. A maintenance-free army shown as special soldiers with skills at court grandeur and their home size will stand down on succession and cannot replenish. Well, you created a royal army when you were England, but since you're an empire, you have an imperial army. Well, during times of crisis, we would use that. High-tier men-at-arms and levies. And by the way, since the Crusade is over, now it's time for peace. Don't start any wars at all. And don't get involved in anybody's wars. You got that? Esteemed guests drift past the enshrouded body of Empress Britannia after another, granting her little more than a slight bow or nod, as if such perfunctory gestures could ever be enough to honor her life. My heart weighs as heavy as my pockets, so full of trinkets and memories of Alice. I cannot help but wonder where she get the hoard objects which rightfully belong to her. The York helmet. I know how much she actually loved that helmet. So I'll say the York helmet belongs to heaven. But I'm never using that, honestly. Neither of you are good enough, so I'm into her now. Encourage competition. Now the time has come to commit Empress Alice to Britannia's final rites before journeying into the hereafter. Alice's enshrouded body is held to spend above an open grave, surrounded by close friends and family. Stood at her head is me, a privileged place of mourning afforded only to a magnanimous host. To see her surrounded by so many mourners and given a proper Catholic burial gives me hope that perhaps, I too will be remembered as fondly as Emperor. At last, her body is lowered into the earth, and the funeral officially complete with a prayer. Beautiful. Legitimacy is at the max. Funeral is finished. Majesty, my beneficiary Alexander approached, a wide grin, sweat dripping down on his forehead, such a smear across his face. I told over the forge many days and nights. My work is finally my work is done. He presents me with an object wrapped in cloth, and I unveil what is hidden, and my eyes grow wide. A folded iron sword of excellent craftsmanship. The pommel is shaped in a series of rounded lobes and inlaid with amber, and the blade is etched to display the words, "Let the lighting of thy glory flash." Time elegant description on the side proudly saying, "God is my strength." Compare and contrast. The Normandie sword versus the new sword. Not effectiveness. Enemy fatal casualties. Same prowess. I'll take this sword. Not because it's new, but I would prefer enemy fatal casualties to be up more than knight effectiveness. But that's only if you're leading troops yourself. So, until then, keep this sword and stick this sword when you're leading troops and all that. Put on that damn crown. Okay, we didn't get to murder the Scotland, but we'll be dealing with more internal matters. Support Greenland. Here we go. Needs more resilience, so construct hunting stations. Send them over. And meanwhile, let's invest. Because given how weak our economy is these days, so we got to improve it more. And plus, look. Our construction's a lot faster. Encourage slavery and unrestricted sprawl. Buildings are a hell lot cheaper. Let's get it. Hospices will do. Officers' academies. Let's make men-at-arms crew cost cheaper. Army gold maintenance goes down a bit. More number of knights, increasing our knight effectiveness more. Yes, this will do. Just fine. Never properly finished with this, so get on with it. Gurney Shrine of Scholars Adventurers. Offer tribute from Lotharingia. Thank you. Alexander, you'll be the Antiquarian. Alright, excellent. 39! Oh yeah! We're getting somewhere. I'm happy with this arrangement. And knowing that future offensive wars will come, such as conquest of Malta, trebuchet engineers, siege weapon recruitment costs will be lessened, as well as the maintenance of, and all holdings in the duchy will have their fort levels increased much further. Get to work on it. So after that investment, we're going to get rid of our heavy cavalry and our siege weapons to replace it with new ones. John, you are strong despite your wheezing. Someone who knows all about intrigue. Yeah. Since you got so much money to throw away, and I'm not sure if he's gonna, you know, get this, but one can only hope, right? I don't want to send him to university when I'm making my guardian eventually. Don't want to do that just yet. Yeah. I had a dream where I was in a realm of darkness and nothing but darkness. I could not see anything, though there was nothing explicitly threatening me, but I could not help but feel a great sense of dread. After I woke up, these feelings of dread continued for the rest of the day. I feel uneasy about everything now. Oh boy. We have land grants. So with land grants, as a reminder, fabricate on the county's council task speed will now be faster, and Cosmopolitan prestige cost is lessened, and parochial vassals are becoming more common. Are they? Not quite. Banking is the next one they're gonna get. Get that in 8 years. Metallurgy. You know, for future reference, you should also propose trade to get something that I might be interested in. Like that. Building construction cost and time. I'm willing to pay up, because I got a lot of money to throw away. I get some more time. So, the trade asset from the following list. Various circumstances determine the types of available trade assets, and they may persist or change in a matter of a few days. Common trade goods is always available. Getting more of that is always nice. But I want tools and materials for the next 5 years. Foundational craftsmanship and construction. Tools and materials are essential to shape the physical world in medieval societies. Now, let me remind you, people, that trade agreement right there is how we get those such things. Although all that will change in the upcoming Silk and Silver DLC by the end of this year. Which I'm kind of interested in doing a playthrough of that. Because, you know, after the Normandy playthrough ends, I don't want to do just another playthrough immediately after. Instead, I'm going to have to wait to do the next playthrough by the end of 2026. I have no plans of doing another one during the summer and fall of that year. So, I want both of those deals. So it's like when the By God Alone DLC comes, I don't want to do a playthrough of that because I'd be feeling spoiled and left out. That I want to have the other one as well. So, I will wait it out. All right. Isabel of Ireland. Is Irish. I was just looking. Are you to Normandy? No, she's East Anglia. We almost never got along or whatever between us. I guess you got that off of, you know, off of him who rules Wales. Now it's 3 years till we get Malta. But though it'll be hell to assemble the entire military together. So let's save some money and make an investment on the military. Big time. As soon as as soon as this is built. The trebuchet engineers. That's my daughter. Vengeful, wrathful, deceitful, but yet you have learning. Should have made you go into intrigue. You're one spiteful woman, huh? Be glad you're not in the line of succession. You'll be trouble. You'll be the one to watch out for. Want to make a box? Yeah, I don't think we have much in the way of furniture, so yeah, go ahead. Make me a damn box. It's rare to see a tournament. I mean, I hardly ever take part in tournaments, especially that I notify can join Grand Tournaments. Because I often play as older characters and those who do not have martial skills as of yet. But you, Walleron, you might be the one. Depends. Who is this one charming woman that you brought over here? Is she still here, by the way? I forgot her name. Unless she already left. Oh yeah, she's from Witners. Why did you think about that? Future reference. And do not forget that this Royal Courtier, even though things are going down, and it is affordable, so I want you to put it back in the middle. You can still afford it. Man, it's the perfect time. Walleron just took his first steps. So holding my boy's hands, tries to walk around the room. What else can he do? Did I? Because I'm callous. Ending the Vestal Favor scheme. Alright, let's have a look here. I mean, the parochial vassals look at me a bit more highly. But I'm not going to mess with that any further. Unless circumstances mandate it. Wait a few months. Wait until this is finished. Oh hell. This disease is right next door. Crap! Don't tell me it's a major disease. Oh, it's major. I wish I was in Malta now. No matter where you go, even if you escape to Bruges, it's gonna come to you too, so... Summon the physician immediately. Make all your necessary precautions. And manage the domain, because there's going to be some control going down for this. People are going to get sick. And it happened right next door in Hertfordshire. Look. Cataphracts archers. Hey. If you and your twin die from that disease, can I have your cataphracts archers? Don't need that. don't need any more of that. Remember, we can beef up the size of the military now. But yeah, we gotta get rid of the armored horsemen. We do have audacious cadets now. So while disease ravages, look at the difference. It is 1-4. But please wait. Isolate the capital. It started in St. Albans, and there will be no doubt it's going to be spreading right to here. So I'm taking no chances. We're entering seclusion right now. There goes my legitimacy. Desperate measure. No. You're still good, but soft approach is best. Tunnelers Guild built. Success. A little bit of plague resistance. And we'll be waiting for a new building to be built. And look at our development. It's almost at 100. The biggest goddamn metropolis in all of the world. And now it's about to fall due to this blasted disease that's to come, as it's got a 50% chance of risk of infection. So that's why we had to shut the door. Wheezing, strong, and quick. Look where it's going. Famine fever. It's here. Trebuchet engineers constructed. Dynasty legacy. Strange gods. Different faith opinion goes up. Faith tension baseline is reduced. It's 50%. Costs less to convert to another faith. And ICR demand conversion acceptance plus 50. Excellent. That's what I want, because this is just to continue that legacy that my mother started since she was tolerant of heathens. And now we're becoming tolerant towards these Hindus here. Even the Sogdian culture is beginning to spread a little. Here in fighting Sogdians to England. But I doubt they'll be around for long. For as long as this disease is ongoing. Probably a very grave looking Fosca. My carpenter. Hope she doesn't bring ill news that a splendid box she should have very. Oh, there are my liege. Hit a wall in my work. Nothing major. My ideas have gone to ground as the pressure mounts last noticing. I just need some inspiration. Mighty Emperor. Might you have some prior examples I could examine? To the Great Hall. Just be careful, don't go touching with the sickly people. I shall Fosca around my grand hall, taking pride in its luxury and various riches on display. Alexander insisted on having a watch from afar, wincing it each time an object has been properly handled and misidentified. She does a few rounds of the room before telling me to press on. My liege, there's nothing here that stands to me. Is there anything else? Alexander, any suggestions? Finds poor wood, might be a slightly lower quality. I mean, I didn't care about the quality, I just want some furniture, that's all. Ah, yes, John. Died in his sleep. At least I didn't have to deal with him because I had other priorities. Oh, not the King of Scotland. He needs to go to jail. Go with you instead. Domestic affairs, which... Yeah, to just keep country stable, given this time that I'm hiding in seclusion. It's seen as cowardice on my end. Oh, not my wife. Oh, no. Big cause doer is not necessary. Successful treatment. She may live. My carpet deer updates are in progress, droning on about the limits of the all on benches. My mind reels with bold ideas from my box. Creating may not be my personal forte, but that doesn't mean I can have a say on how my money is spent. My background gives some unique insights. My ideas work well. Slightly higher quality. Maybe. Who knows? Richard. God damn it, Richard. No need for dedication. It's just a box. Don't you die on me, Richard. I need you to treat everybody. My wife lives. He doesn't. None of you are good qualifiers to be the physician. While my scheming has certainly helped me to gain advantage against those unfortunate enough to get in my way, it has come at a great cost to my inner peace. Not a day goes by where I do not consider possible reprisal for my dark deeds. Perhaps someone who cared deeply for one of the many corpses I have left in my wake will one day take their vengeance out on me. It is on quiet nights like this that I see a dagger pointing at me from every shadow corner. I need to get out of here now. Christopher of Thornham. Get to work. Treat everybody who hasn't been treated. This is a deepness in the whole my heart. William was a constant companion and confidant. But I am ripped apart from my life. Ugh. Feels like a mortal wound for which I will never recover. My hand clasps the note he gave me, the last note he will ever give me. I realized bitterly. I tried to read it, but all I could do was move it away from my face. The precious tears contained within was not washed away by my tears. Though there was a crowd of many mourners around me, I've never felt so alone. I need to be strong and move forward. Lord Roderick of the Swans of the Vaticano. Nephew. Sure. Time disappears in Fossil's workshop, drinking mead as we excitedly discuss the box he's creating. My imaginings are in indescribable tension. My mind wanders, absorbing the subtle quirks of her body, her laughing lips. Place my hand on hers. The salt drops from her trembling fingers. I gaze longingly into the beautiful eyes. Or eye, since she's one-eyed. In her, I find a same desperation. She falls in my warm embrace. Come here, sweet thing. Oh, she's one-eyed and one-legged. Lowly servant. She's not a pirate. Instead of creating my conventional artifact, I decided to create a night of passion. But also I had to break up with you, I'm sorry. Or better yet, send you to the west. She won't, because close to the Liege. Love her. Look, thanks. Okay? It's just not a passion. No. Keep going to work! That was my chancellor. God dang it. Now I've succumbed to the camp fever. And you know, that disease, typhus, is very deadly to the elderly. Do no more is necessary. Arrange a small ceremony in my name. Once my family and close entourage were all gathered in the main hall, the priest gave me a sermon highlighting my virtue of benevolence. The ceremony was ended with an hour of silent prayer, reaching out to Jesus, what turned out to be just what I needed. From now, the worst of my sins is living and the world seemed a little brighter. Thank you, Christopher. If I die by typhus, I mean, my son hasn't gotten typhus, so that's a good sign for now. You know, that old capital ruin, that hasn't been affected by famine fever. We should have left it, but the risks of traveling while sick. My corpse is about as low before speaking. My Duke tended to take a strain our efforts. Now people whisper that the crown no longer cares. If you were to bless coins distributed yourself, it might soothe their anger. A royal touch, they say, brings healing. Let them feel the royal touch for once. Unlike many before me, I was strong enough to survive the ravages of the dreaded camp fever. It was a brutal challenge, I will not deny it, but I persevered. I lived to fight another day. Hell to the yeah. As one would say. Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit theatrical. That's a pedestal item, not a... This is lovely. I'll be sure to give it to someone who I'm going to send out to exile. To Greenland. I should do that right now. Princess Anne. You'll do. You'll be a great tutor. So, you there. How'd you like to go to Greenland? Boldness and energy. He'd be more than willing. Okay, it just needs a little bit of resilience. So off you pop. You are out of here. 720. Any guests want to go to Greenland? Well, who are not sick. Or any courtiers who don't have much of use for you. How about you? No? I'm just looking for... Remember, diligent, ambitious, and brave are the ones you're to look for. Guess we haven't found them yet. Swift execution. Still ongoing. One second. Want to go to Western Europe? Decent. Not yet. Huh. You look good in those black robes as a spy master. I mean, I would love to seduce you one day. Well, meanwhile, you got this one who's dull and weak, but it's non-inheritable, that's fine. It's too bad I cannot seduce her. And she hasn't gotten married yet, because there aren't that many Hindus to begin with. But those two are closely knit together, so there will be no sibling rivalry here, unfortunately. Uh-huh. Righto. Right. King Jacques of Lotharingia. Why can he not leave me in peace? It's beginning to clear out now. Just hold on. We're almost out of it. Keep an eye on Middlesex. London is still infected. Let's see, he was my steward. Oh, actually, it could be good for something. Give me the steward. If I wanted to get you on our side, at least do that. We're almost done. Yeah. How much development did we lose? Callous satisfaction with realm laws. Order has been restored at last. The laws are in place to maintain a delicate balance between power and control. I am pleased that the realm no longer bows to naive ideals. The restrictions on slave labor have been loosened, and with it, the economy is strengthening once more. But do we complain? They don't understand the necessities of rule. The infrastructure thrives on the labor of those who serve. And the realm grows stronger for it. We cannot afford the softness in this world. The realm is finally back on the right course, and I will ensure it stays that way. It's because of slavery regulation realm laws. They've been satisfied with it. It's what makes construction and buildings go up faster and cheaper. It really did a number on the development and the control. So get it up. You can't get it up control till it's cleared out and just about seclusion. It's not done with us yet. Oh, my trusty patriarch's been intending a pet project of himself, and its core will fund a network of organizations across my domain and will attempt to improve a lot of the poorest stuff. But this cost will increase with my domain size. I must analyze coverage of the whole bill to see if the funding this network for 10 years will be worth it. No! Don't fund it! Oh. It's going. It's going. Very soon, London will be clear. London is clear. Alright. No longer have to isolate the capital. Emerge from seclusion. Sun feels unfair and hostile on my skin. The wind feels cold and violating. When was the last time I took a breath of air as God made it? King Roger of Wales. Listen, nephew, as much as I like you, I'm not going to be there for you because it's about time we make some... Let's have a bit of military reform. Get rid of the light horsemen and get rid of the mangonels. And replacing these is our new trebuchets. The counterweight trebuchet can handle large projectiles of much greater force than mangonels or onagers. Effective up to fort level 15. All the way up. And in addition, there's the counterweights, which is actually a little bit cheaper. Yeah, slightly cheaper to maintain a bit of light horsemen. Excuse me, armored horsemen. The damage is the same, but toughness goes down a bit. It's the same for the pursuit. Armored horsemen is good against archers and handgunners. The convoys are good against archers, light cavalry, and handgunners. Plains, drylands, farmlands. We're only good for plains and drylands. So if you're fighting in the farmlands of, like, say, France, this is very effective. Won't do so good in higher terrain. Forests do not bother them. Spurring hard with lances couched, these reckless Norman horsemen plunged to any weakness to be found in the enemy formation, eager to snatch victory through shock and terror. Alright, let's beef it up. Up to the max, nearly spent it all. Station them in Dover, which... Look at that! Oh! That's absolute insanity, with the amount of damage it can do when it's fully reinforced. And as for trebuchets, you're in London, you do much better. Royal Armory, that's for late medieval. So it cannot go up much more. And in a year's time, we'll have a claim on Malta, then we'll be ready for our invasion of Malta. My Empress, prisoner holds me in arms. Feel settled felt happiness. Just imagine this could last forever. This she could be mine, forever mine, and mine only. To have her like this is all I need, to become mine once more. Even though I think a breakup is coming, because there's other women that I do desire for their intellect or for their beauty. Yeah. Graduated. Wallerun. 6 years old and you are going from being Martian-minded. Keep your damn tooth. King Roger became my marshal. Are you good at your job? Average. But we'll get it all up soon. This is going to take a while to get everything reinforced, and then we start making a lot of fortune again. University student donates me a lot of gold. He's in Canterbury. Good to know. Lately, I've been pondering education with my son while around. Is warfare really the appropriate direction? Since being intrigued and intrigued myself, I've found out a particular knowledge segment. Sure do the same for him. I think a very skill set is only beneficial for him. Don't make any more investments until things are fully reinforced. Yeah, I inherited a few court artifacts, including that one cat pelt. Yeah. I'm gonna start making a habit of destroying artifacts. Despite an, at first, rather questionable grasp even the most basic mechanics of Alex, my antiquarian Alexander seems at last to be growing in his role. Many at court have noted his burgeoning, albeit somewhat limited, abilities. At the very least, seem genuinely trying to earn his keep. One adores to perceive it, Alexander. +1 learning and learning. And antiquarian aptitude goes up a bit for him. Good to know. Wants to write about warfare. Yeah, decent. Don't answer any message. It's Thomas Becket himself. A pious and accomplished theologian known as Thomas Becket is reportedly wandering in my realm in search of employ. He hails from the barony of London and has a certain air about him, fearless yet somewhat ignorant. This is a historical character, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas Becket was an English archbishop and martyr, best known for his conflict with King Henry II over the rights of his church. His staunch defense of the ecclesiastical authority led to his murder in the Canterbury Cathedral in 1170. Becket's martyrdom solidified his status as a saint, with his shrine in Canterbury becoming a significant pilgrimage site. Yeah. Okay, took it from that. Right. You can play as him, or bring him to court, and get away cook on him, or let him become a wanderer. He's a man of diplomacy, education, he's a theologian, and he's a monk. Wants to write about stewardship. Yeah, such a man could serve me well. Come on in, Thomas. He's got an owl-like demeanor. He's a dueling enthusiast like me in his free time, and obsession with lineage. Interesting. May God govern the strong knight, he says. See if I can. Well, obviously I could make him a high almoner. He's excellent at it. Part of the clergy. This is out of piety. It please the zealots. That will help me out a bit. But damn, I wish you were my patriarch. Though I cannot replace him. Oh! About to grab Malta. Good timing. Alright, we have the claim on Malta, but we're not ready for war yet. We're not fully reinforced of everything. And I want to have a war chest over 1,000 gold. Because traveling from there to Malta, where I want to have personal control over, is a long way away. There was a major earthquake up there. But until then, just wait it out. Hell for that old tournament. Okay. The solar just barely illuminated. Adele and I are pressed close, our lips all but meeting. The night is cool, but she feels a momentary touch. Her breath comes in short and ragged gasps. At just about the worst moment, my seneschal Catherine strides into the room, already in full bluster. Great Deborah, we must discuss my. Oh, I didn't see that you had company. Guess the line. Catherine, get the door. 71% chance I take both of them. Take both of them. Become lovers of both of them. Because you see, Catherine, I mean, I kind of like you in a way, but I thought maybe for once, I mean, I do desire other women, but I used to think of you pretty highly a couple of years back, but how about it? Take both of them. Sore tongue for 15 years. I mean, 5 years. If only it was 15 years. Oh, yes, I'm impotent, but you cannot resist. Managed to, despite all odds, of course I doubt to join a threesome with Catherine in London. Yay. Empress, Now listen here, your holiness. I'm gonna need your help. 'Cause there's this woman I gotta divorce. I know it costs less to send gifts. How much? 250. Look, no, listen. Look, we need to know that. You got to help me divorce her. On the grounds of consanguinity. Just barely! Listen, we had a good time and all, but I'm breaking up with you. No longer lovers. I have no plans to murder her. No, no. That's only if times get desperate. After much further deliberation, I decided to grant your request to divorce your wife, Navarre, on grounds of suspected adultery. I guess I must have wrote that, me being of deceitful nature. I'm sorry, Navarre. You could stay at court, okay? Because you do have a... Unless you want to go to Greenland. Well, not. In a line of succession, children and adults. I mean, if it weren't for those, she might be willing to go, but it's just doesn't want to leave, that child behind. Her only son, heir to the throne. But I want more children because there's no guarantee that something bad might happen to him, like a tragedy. She's pretty but melancholic. Court prostitute, though. Stick around. You might be needed. But there's this one other one that I do like. That's my wet nurse. She's a rising middle class. He's like, listen, I love you too, but Eileen's the one for me. I'm sorry. Hold it. A nobleman. There we go. She's a noble. No, no, no. I mean, she wasn't going to go to Greenland anyway. Intent to seduce and make love to her. Well, I do have that hook on her. 100% that she'll fall for me. And she's terrified of me. Do it! See, we don't get the low blow penalty. I say she's a noble, and therefore she's a noble. She is the one. And I'm gonna make damn sure. I may be impotent, but I'm still in the game. Close to her liege. If she weren't my lover, she'd be willing to go. But I don't want to. She's got excellent skills. Not to mention she's my go-to explorer. Like, I just don't want to be known as adulterer, and I fear I might get excommunicated for this, but at this point, look, you should break up with Adela. But no, I can't break up. I just want Pretty and children and all that. Oh, just learn to grin, Barrett. You're the emperor. You're the absolute emperor. You can do whatever the hell you want. You can do what you want, say what you want, and learn who you want. It's been a while since I've met with my wife, Empress. I saw her in the gardens with her companions. I agreed to them and speak further of her. Leaning in, I smiled slightly. It's just spending time together soon. I smiled back, avoiding the gaze of her companions. Turning to the group, said we should move on. Thomas has more pressing matters. As they walked away, I heard glance back. She seems keen on being together. It seems the Empress is keen on spending time with me. How should I get her alone? Maybe I called her in my bedchamber, where she'll find me wearing nothing but a smile. A little treat for both of us. Or I could bring her to my chambers, tie her up, and have my way with her. I could roll her aside at the next court celebration, tell her that I want to be with her. If I have something she desires, surely she would say no. Alas, being with her would make these decisions easier. I could simply ask her. Think. I ain't got no stress. I'll say, well, but I'm married to her now, so I'll simply ask, what do you think? You want a child with me? She asks, voice taken with a mix of surprise and resignation. Fine, but be quick if you must. She adds a slight roll in her eyes. Nice functional than passionate. Focus squarely on the task at hand. In the months that fall, there's a sense of obligation rather than joy in your interactions. The encounter marking a practical rather than emotional connection between you. If that's the case, move to the bed. There's no guarantee that this will work. And that's why we had to do the seduce scheme as well, to further reinforce that. And if I'm called adulterer, fine, call me that, because I'm a well-known seducer and impotent. Not every gift has to be a grand statement of wealth. Small things can make a far greater impression, for as long as they're chosen well. Wonder what she would appreciate. Flower display for the garden at London. Thank you so much for the flower display you gave me. I could scarce remember the last time I received such a wonderful gift. Anything for you. Anything for you. The peace of ceremony days corridor was interrupted by a loud noise. What is this hullabaloo about? I said in a firm, jury tone. I still investigate caution. At the entry of my courtroom, it seemed that when Alexander entered the courtroom, he tripped and fell on the floor. He got entangled in his clothes. It was a complete mess, and shouted all sorts of appropriate words of frustration as my servants rushed to help him up. It took a few seconds for Alexander to realize what a fool he looked like, and others in my court snickered and whispered to point at him. He looked almost sheepishly as I approached. Well, no matter. Let's continue as we were. We're getting there. Ask Hedafe for claims. Any rich prisoners? No. Actually, one. Just need to get up to... need to have a lot more. That's what I'm trying to do. Not building any more buildings for this time, as much as I would like to. There you go, she's pregnant. See? They call me impotent. But I still got it! I still got it! To prevent factionalism. One of the bakers working at my household comes from recently baked me a large number of bread, which is known to come from Normandy. Using an old-fashioned recipe, says it would be a good thing to eat as a snack. Good snack indeed. Just want to have another son who's a genius. Or another genius. Because Anne's already landed. But at least she's got nice children of her own. And married someone who's quick-minded. Have I impregnated any of my lovers, by the way? Catherine of London. Adela. Nothing else again. I would tell you to dance, because not so because I'm Lord of the Castle, but because I want to see the Empress there. She looks resplendent. We have a moment to ourselves. I'll offer my suggestion. Can I provide you with some more food? No. She's content. Walk to the garden and all this? To the garden again? I walked to the gardens, talking to all manner of things. Eventually realized we both lost track of time when we returned to dance. I was starting. What an evening we had. Oh, jeez. I just had to stretch. I know you're the primary and all that. Go in. My goodness, you are slowly spreading the Sogdian culture into England. Not what I had in mind, but okay. Thought you would have converted to English by now. Alright, we're fully reinforced. Our income isn't as great as it once was, but don't you worry. We're about to get this. Well done. Name it after you? I actually thought something else in mind. Sicilian. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peace! Our work is done, as exactly as it would be. I heard the scorn of my detractors was certain it would fail when I swore my oath, but I proved them wrong. The voice of my doubters had changed, and now they grant me the honor that once thought beyond reach. A new day is upon us, and a stronger Britannia stands ready to meet it. Gingercy level back up all the way. So now it's less of the penalty now. Quite honestly, whenever I get the next perk, which will be job well done, I want to go to Wanderer and do that inspection. You know, to get ready for the damned Malta thing. Well, sorry, Minister of House. I was informed that my ex-wife, Navarre, was waiting me to give a word. Upon admittance to my presence, she proceeded to remind me that I owed her a favor that I could not forget. As fate has it, seems Navarre wants me to promote her, increasing her prestige. Egotistical, aren't you? Here. Hegemonic trade power. The servants have all been sent away, and our beds are decorated with roses. As Empress Institute smiles tell me joys without any hesitation. With the help of hands, mouths, and this, we have heard the divorce we swore before God. Perhaps in a more carnal fashion than that. As we're not in marriage, we're now united in heart. I'm a genius. You got a beautiful genius wife. Which I hope my future daughter has both in some way. Wait until you have over 1,000 gold, then you start the war for Malta. Which will be quite a long way to get there. And you should invite a few knights over. No, it's not time yet. Well, almost there. Eerie, loud noises were heard at night by some nearby villages not too long ago. They were sometimes covered by strange colors in the skies. Investigation by my officials and soldiers could not determine what was that cause. Frightening! You can borrow money from a holy order, whatever circumstances. Yeah. I don't think you've picked up any perks, have you? But in case, let me be your guardian. Hope for a son from heaven. Ah, here we go. Expedition in the west. That's what we've been waiting for. As of currently, it is 775 for the networks and 735 on resilience. Go to Markland again. Prepare for the journey. Of course. Catherine, my love, you have what it takes. You're a veteran explorer. And we'll send support again until 2 months. Deeds of Heroes. I recently took the time to read the various books explaining the exploits and deeds of ancient heroes and warriors. It was informative to help me to better understand which tactics and strategies work, which ones don't. I know which one didn't work. That happened in the crusade down there. That was a mother-loving disaster. In Canterbury. Why not go to Oxford or Cambridge? They're better universities than Canterbury here. I guess it just depends on what they're looking for. Alright, send them over for the resilience. There's been a lot of grand tournaments like these. It's already become tournaments become so much more affordable. Eight arrives at Greenland. Alright, 39 and 10. So alright, they're even. We are inching closer and closer to towards that struggle ending. And so we got to get these up, and then we'll conclude that. And given that I'm someone who is illustrious, which is another requirement, it just makes me say, God dang it, stay alive, man. They'll call me the explorer for this. So that means I ought to be careful. And I don't need to lead armies anymore. Because you've taken priority. Where are you? Disgrace no nuts. Hi, Adam. Would you like to go to Greenland? He might. Give it to the networks. He chose not to. That's a failure to send. That increases marginalization. Oh well. Next time, if you see something like that, compliment him, okay? Do that for future reference. The messenger bird brings me a message from Catherine, an update about our expedition to Auckland. According to the message, the expedition is going well. Catherine says the crew just encountered a large number of seals, which they successfully hunted. Among the peoples of the north, seals are commonly used for meat and oil, and this has raised the morale of the crew greatly. Glad to hear it. The messenger bird brings me a message, another message from Auckland. Catherine says the expedition is going well. Nothing significant has happened, in a good way. She and the rest of her crew are currently resting in a rather peaceful location and making note of various kinds of wildlife and plants that grow there. It is our hope that this information might be of use to us, or at least to the other explorers in the future. So doing a good work. This will definitely be a great success. Happy about that. Listen, if you're going to assemble an army to be ready for the Malta War, you might as well put it over here. Think of a unique sounding name that doesn't sound common. Not like that, sometimes hard to pronounce. Wallerun! Think, damn it. Theobald. That's a Germanic sounding name. Hope you don't get sickly though. If not, then I'm in deep trouble. Dude! Please, help him. He could be the beautiful genius that the world's been waiting for. Oh my god. I'll postpone it for once because money's going to use a rival of mine that I don't remember being rivals with. Alright, here's one more night to bring him. Alright. Wait until spring. We'll declare war in April. I said I should take priority of my own health from now on. If I want to get that ending of the struggle, I mean, once that struggle ends, it will not actually be the end of that series. There's still a few things I want to do, such as establishing a colony in Vinland. That would be the feather to my cap. Son of a bitch! He didn't last that long. Oh, hold on. The messenger bird brings the message from Catherine, an update about our expedition. In the course of the expedition, Catherine says they were slightly blown off course and ended up what seemed to be an unknown coastline at first. However, says everyone started to recognize geographical features as they correspond with the description of the location mentioned in the legend about the voyages of an earlier explorer. Because the legend was somewhat vague about what this area was like, Catherine thought it was an excellent opportunity to discern whether the accuracy of geographical details in the legend. To map out the area and help future sailors and explorers travel the region. On the other hand, she might not discover anything new worth noting down, as the legend was sufficient to help them navigate this area. I imagine she wanted to investigate the area. I continue reading the message. After spending a couple of weeks investigating the area, Catherine discovered that while the legend wasn't inaccurate, after all, that's how they would recognize geography of this region in the first place. It was missing some other information. Perhaps the previous explorer did not venture too deeply in the area. Or perhaps, due to the legend being vague in some parts, certain details were left out. Catherine and the crew took careful notes about the area's geography and other details such as the wildlife and plants living there. It is her hope that their discoveries will supplement the information already found in the legend. Great work, Explorer. 3 good outcomes. Job done right. Now go for wandering. Keep the control up. I want to have inspection. And we're ready for the Greenland. I mean, goddammit, Malta! Malta. That's all I want. Just this island, so I could use it as a halfway point to get to Serbia to intervene in whatever conflicts we get into. But at least she's keeping Byzantium at bay to not attack her again. Malta. Strength is inferior compared to ours, but he's got so much money that he'll throw whatever mercenaries at us. I mean, these are all special troops or whatever from long past. So all I can say is, you don't scare me. Hell, I might bring Serbia down to you as a distraction. I might do just that. Alright, go ahead. This is going to take a year to assemble everybody over and then send them to Malta. I guess I'll be there too. I'll pay you money because I got lots of it, Alice. We just need you to assemble the army there. And you're just gonna be the distraction while I go get Malta. Remember, it's disconnected, but I want to have personal control of the domain there. I think we're confident enough to have our siege weapons to deal with this. Because as you look, the development's been going down lately. But I'll see too if I'll get everything fixed there. Alright, she has returned. The networks did go up, but not the resilience. But we got herbs from the Western Atlantic, giving me a small health boost for the next 10 years. And seal blubber from the West Atlantic, +1 stewardship. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We just hope it's not going to be a long war, so that's why we have to... The Welsh-English hybridization for Roger of Wales. Okay. Huh. You did move your capital up there. The Welsh culture is gone. It's now Welsh-English. Well, he changed his culture from Anglo-Welsh to Pictish. No, money's going towards war because some of that is going to be, you know, of that. Waller runs a genius! Alright, Fortuna. Throw the money into that. Hang on. 1 second. I'll remove you as guardian. And then I'll make you my guardian. And this time, we're going to send you to university. You know, forget everything. These are what I want. He's going to be another one of Britannia's greats. Duke Sweeney converted from English to Welsh English. Man-at-Arms has not yet appeared. My son Wallerun finished less held by Anne on the manager of the treasury and the coin there. Wallerun seems to have taken a less somewhat to heart. While he understands the role of the lower classes, he also says if a peasant stops paying taxes, they are no more use. It should be discarded. A callous view on human life. Don't be like me. Have you not learned anything? That lesson was about fairness. Oh! The King of Scotland just got gored by a boar. That's what killed my mother. Alright, now we're running in a deficit here. And honestly, I don't think we need all the levies we can get now. Having a lower reduces your stress? Alright, stop gathering. We got everything we need. We beefed up the size of our cavalry, but not yet for everybody else. We just gotta go take Malta and hold it. And might as well occupy Syracuse simply for the sake of it. Since it's right next door. No, that's it, James. Getting quite a bit stressed. Loot down there is pretty good. Syracuse, there's none. And there's no control. And Serbia will join us. Actually, Serbia is going to Kruye. Which is fine. I needed them as a distraction to keep them off our backs while we work up on there. River Rhine's about to be flooded. Doesn't really matter much to me because that affects parts of Holland. Waters are unbound, I say. Lovely for the rise is imminent. About to lose my legitimacy pretty soon a bit. Oh my goodness. Oh, King of Frisia has died. I mean, that's one thing, but look what awaits us. The army of Malta. And we might probably win. Now, who's their commanders? Basileus isn't one of the best ones. And in fact, he's the only. And we're going to send a lot of bodies over. Bring out a long bone on the moss. And then the rest to come. I didn't realize that they'll be there. Stop, God dog it. All that. Not there, not there. We'll lose decisively. You're not moving in. Alright, recently disembarked. You are embarked. Stop, Dad. Damn it. Get together. Road to restore order is long. Let him go. See if we can take the island. Alright, we're here. These guys are about to go to sea. Oh. Yeah, let them go. We're about to get away from them. They're gonna go to Albania. We overwhelm them. I step out of my camp and see camp sprawls up before me. A haphazard cluster of canvas, wooded stakes trample the muddy earth. Pennant snap of the wind and place out by crooked tree limbs. Here and there, in tents and mixer shelters, mad huddle over fires, their faces smudged gleam of rain. My lower tenor approaches before the siege and get on my bodyguard's head to the camp. The barony of Malta stands for me. A canyon of shattered walls and the fields between, a dead and dying light heap in grotesque mounds. The smell of rotting fish hangs heavy in the air, hidden with a fierce copper scent of blood. Windows are shuttered or smashed. Lofty doors lie warped on their rusty hinges, torn off their hinges and littering the cobblestone and fragments. Grass, stones, and mortar shoot from roofs and chimneys. Black-veiled women lament their dead in the ruins of their homes. My men look at me for direction. Spare it for once, because this is going to be my personal territory that I will have personal control over. Don't move. Not yet. Syracuse is a great place to resupply, but please wait. Wonder where they're going. But in this case, not all of you. Stop. It is you with the siege weapons. Shift-click to deselect. You're the one with the siege weapons. You're going up there. The one with the heavy cavalry stays. Okay, this is going to take some restructuring. Because I'm sending a bunch of levies to help out with the siege, assist them. All together now. I need the best. Sweeney, get over here. You don't need to. Stick with me, man. Okay? You can go. Rest of you stay. Go assist them by taking Syracuse as a place of resupply. We're going to hold on the island in case they come back. Trying to cut costs here. Oh, you guys are fast. You guess you had all the money available to prepare for natural disasters like these. Supply limit is enough for all of us here, and same for up there, so we'll be well supplied. That will be little of an issue. And look at the fast work of my trebuchets. Mahalt. Unusual name for an English woman. I exit my tent as siege camp sprawls up before me. A maze of canvas, of half-constructed wooden frames, of rope and blanket and lean-tos. Flags snap and flail in the rain-drenched wind. Figures hunt over campfires, tossing on wood or brush sheepskins clean. A lower retainer approaches for the siege again. But my bodyguard's head to the camp. The barony of Syracuse stands before me. A wreckage of burning wood and broken stone. In the fields between, the crops have withered, and the wild grass has been reduced to mahogany-covered stubble. Bodies lay everywhere, and glassy eyes wide with shock. Grieving widows kneel beside their dead and dying husbands. Loot it. And get everybody you see. They could try to come on down here. We got plenty of supplies, so we'll go for another place to Kamada. All these forts are going to be easy to take at this point. Just gonna let the war score to tick up while we're stationed here. Ready to fend off any invasions. Patience. They'll be coming. Unless there's another war involved. Yes, there is. Well, what do you know? Arabian Empire and the Tulindid Empire. Oh my goodness. 2 empires together. And it's the Arabian that wants Edessa. That's what's got them withdrawn that way. I cannot believe these 2 are actually allied together. That means open season for us. Now I know to arrive in Greenland. Rumors have arrived from Greenland about the arrival of the new peoples of the region called South. Time will tell these Inuit will interact with Greenland's other inhabitants, like the Tenets and the settlers from Europe. Since time immemorial, they know to have thrived in the cold northern regions of the world. They thrive in these frigid climates, excelling in everything from whaling to seal hunting to building well-situated houses to migrating and traveling across snow and ice in dog sleds. What I know, with their innovations, outcompete the other groups for the control of vital resources, causing tension and conflict. Is this an opportunity for cooperation and trade between them? Or will these 3 groups ignore each other, heading towards their own destinies in the remote far north? Even in the far north, time's always changing. For those involved in the colonization agreement, relations with Anu will now play a role in several decisions and events, such as on expeditions. They arrived. Adds up to the substance. Incorporate the ideas. So you got to get the networks up higher, and we're almost there actually, but you lose a level of fame for that. Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Yes, they've arrived in Greenland. Colonization of Greenland. I own a county in the Nordic Seas, yes. Either that or regional integration. And I do hold a kingdom and an empire. We'll meet with them soon. All we need to do is just win the war. These 2 armies here will remain stationed in Malta while our other army goes on the offensive in southern Italy against those with weaker fort levels, especially over there. Patchwork tent cities straddling a rise overlooking the barony of Kamada. Pennants snap in the stiff breeze, the smell of tar and neatsfoot hangs in the air. The barony of Kamada stands before me, a charred graveyard. In the fields between, trees and flax are flattened, houses and barns are reduced to kindling, embers fall around me, and smoke rises in thick clouds. Shocked survivors stumble through the rubble. Yo-yo. As Kinnan's men were secured in the newly occupied county of the Taberna of Kamada, we come across a small hidden cell in one of the villages. Inside, Rumitruda, a local young woman, frightened but unharmed. Her beauty is not gone unnoticed by the soldiers, and I brought her before me, their commander, to decide her fate. The lustful glint in their eyes is an unmistakable as they await my judgment. A giant, beautiful woman. A fine price. She'll be my prisoner. move the house to rest. Just to show we're not going to do bad things to you, don't you worry. Death. It is everywhere. Habits everywhere. We cannot avoid. I find myself pondering this profound matter today. For reasons I'm unsure of, I'm not pondering death in general. That is, rather as it pertains to myself and my own fate. If and when I die in the future, what will it be like? How would it happen? Would it be peaceful or painful? Sooner or later? How would it even feel? Well, knowing my mother was rather violent and soon. I'll say this is too morbid of a topic. I'll distract myself with some amusements while I'm here. Yeah, Malta. To Salerno. Napoli's got no fort level at all, basically. So we'll be going up through there. Despite the excellent development, which will provide excellent loot. Inspection is available. Keep it going. Move up. Not going to read much here as time constraints. The barony of Salerno stands for me. A murky bog, a field of corpses, desecrated land. In the fields between the corpses and the rot grass and the vultures wheel and screech. Beyond clouds of hungry flies dust, I note the stench of brimstone. Grieving widows cut small children in their bosses as they flee, their clothes tattered and torn. Loot, loot, loot. If that's how it's going to be, then we're going to keep occupying your territories. He was a good one. I think I'll trust you. The barony of Napoli stands for me. A lake of ruin. In the fields between, a dead and dying cover the field. Broken regiments of warriors and colonies of upstanding fighters huddling beneath makeshift shelters. The cries of injured mingled with the screams of the dying. Bodies and body parts littered the muddy streets. Shocked and hungry survivors stumble over the smoking streets, looting what remains. The sun. Couple was for level 4. One more should do it. There was a battle in Malta. Oh, it was a peasant revolt attempt, but we put it down here without a single human loss. So yeah, this place is unruly as Malta. The barony of Capua stands for me. A smoldering butchery. In the fields between, among the hilled stumps of once foggy samplings, I see the dead. Piled high, hellish, rotting, burning homes. A crumbling spire pointing accusingly into the grey, rainy sky. Bodies trapped under jagged iron spears at the gates. Grieving widows fan tear-stained faces. Mournful children nestled in their laps bewailed the sight of their demolished homes. Clothed camp farmers toss shows of wheat, while skeletal wreaths with the sounds of screeching lamentations. What's with the higher fort? What's with the forts? Because I'm not going anywhere else. They do not exist, but look up there. Second pavilion, memorial fortifications. That applies to all of them. Well, then head up to Monte Cassino. Bishopric of. This is a temple holding. The Bishopric of Cassino stands so for me. we don't need to occupy anymore. The smoking pyre, the grey shadow amid the remains of my conquering army. A desolate wasteland of parched fields and smoking hovels dotted with blood and perversion. Witnesses to a nightmare beyond hell itself. In the fields between the bodies of the fallen lie thick. They lie in shells, lie in the shallows of a flooded river. To bloody faces rise from the glistening green swell. Bodies of the slaughter, littered streets. Shocks of fire stumble to a foot through its rubbled streets. They enter and moan and cry out for aid, but the voices fade and hang in the heavy air, smoldered by the mangled sounds of the siege. Not a single enemy action. And don't have any plans to go into Sicily yet. But I do gain a bit of fame from that, despite the lack of battles. Malta is mine. Just one day later. Zero control. Development's going down because... colonization is the reason. So this place is neglected to heck. And you're due for some unruly things there. Development grows. Yes. Wars affected them. But I'll see too that that there'll be some changes around here. Because Malta will be viewed as a... I mean, due to the lack of buildings and all that, Malta will definitely be the island that's worth investing. As it's part of my personal control that I tend to hold on to for a long while. And we'll see to that in the next episode when I... Where? Huh. I mean, after all, since you are in Malta, you can actually take part of this little activity that's close by. That's good to know. If you ever feel like traveling a long way away. And since you hold Malta, you can support the medical school somehow. Baga's Sicilian strongholds, especially those because there are some unruly ones in there. Recruit soldiers from Sicily, but you cannot manage the Sicilian frontier because you're not Sicilian signore. And you can contact the Mediterranean pirates since this is part of the Mediterranean. Even though we're not quite there yet, but maybe perhaps one day we have to take parts of Lulu dock in order to have a connection to the sea. So all you need is 2 counties. You have to ask your holiness for this to bring you claims, although doubtful. Unless you want to fabricate it yourself. Which, of course, takes a long damn time. Or alternatively, since you're going on inspection, after you inspect Malta, you should go also inspect this for the border county and try to grab a claim for all of this. For all of Lulu, in order to have connection from one part of the city to the other, splitting things into 2. So we can have it towards there. Anyways, that will be my long-term plan. For now. But also coming up in the next episode, let's hope that I'll be around long enough to see this done. We still got quite a ways away to support Greenland again. Damn, I really gotta do something with these tabs. Because there's so damn many of them that, oh god, I lost it. Where's... Here it is. Take that off. That next time, which won't be until 2 years' time, we're almost there. We just gotta go for networks next. And send a few people to Greenland. And then there you have it. Just remain healthy, don't do anything stupid. That's all you gotta do. And raise your children well. So we hope you people enjoyed this episode as we now Britannia has entered into the Mediterranean world. And we'll see how this goes for all that and more. But until then, so long for now.